In just a moment, I'm going to show you how you can make an awesome bitter marmalade easily from fruit that we've just collected from the garden. Guys, welcome back to Greenthumbs Garden and another video. My name's Alex, and if this is your first time here and you love gardening, horticulture, homesteading and self-sufficiency, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss a single thing. So what you're going to need for this recipe is 1 kilo of bitter oranges. You'll also need the juice of 1.5 lemons. You'll need 2 kilos of sugar and 2 liters of water. And you'll also need some empty jars. So the first thing we're going to do is wash our oranges. Pop your oranges in a cooking pot and add the 2 liters of water. Throw in your lemon juice. So now you want to bring it to a boil, then let it gently boil over for 2 hours. Turn your heat down so you don't overdo it and it can boil away gently. So once that's finished boiling for 2 hours, we're going to let it sit and rest until it's completely cold. So if you do it on an evening, you can go to bed, wake up the next morning and it'll be ready for you to finish the job. So get a strainer, put a bowl underneath so we can catch any liquids, and take an orange from here. Once you've chopped it in half, you want to take your spoon and take out all the insides. Give it a good scrape, and then we're going to put our skins to one side as we'll be adding that into our marmalade later. So once you've finished scooping out the insides, you want to make sure you get all the little seeds out of the liquid. Get these little seeds out. We don't want them in our marmalade. So that's the last of the seeds we got out. Now what we want to do is put our colander. Well, we'll empty the juices first into here. Get out every drop of goodness, and let's put our colander on top. Then what we want to do is push as much as of this goop into our mix. The colander will stop the seeds getting in and other unwanted chunks, but we want to push as much of this as through as possible. Once you've eaten your own jam, you'll never buy that rubbish again in the supermarket. Mark my words. Nothing beats it. So we're just pushing it through. Got all the good stuff coming through, look. And we can empty that into our liquid. So just keep working it through your colander until there's hardly anything left apart from the seeds and a few big bits of pith and stuff. You don't want too much pith unless you like it really bitter. We made one before and I got loads of pith in it, and well, it was too bitter for my wife, but I thought it was lovely. Oh, this is not good for my tendinitis. Oh man. So that's as much as we're going to get there. I think it's good enough. Drain as much as you can because it's full of pectin and that will help with your marmalade gelling. So next we want to chop our bits of skin as thin as you can in nice little strips like that. So once you've finished doing that, we'll just bang that into our pot and get our pot on there. So we're just going to warm this up now enough to dissolve our sugar into it. So we're going to add in our 2 kilos of sugar, and we've got brown sugar 1 kilo, and we're using 1 kilo of white sugar just because otherwise if you put 2 kilos of brown sugar it gets really dark, the jam. So using half it just makes your jam look a bit lighter. But if you want to use 2 kilos of brown sugar, go for it. If you want it really light, then you just use 2 kilos of white sugar, whatever you fancy. Stir this until the sugar's completely dissolved. So next we want to bring this up to a rolling boil and let it boil for about 15 minutes. So once it's boiling, be sure to turn down the heat just to maintain the boil and give it a stir occasionally. So it's been 15 minutes, we're just going to turn this off the heat now. We're going to test it, give it a little taste, see how it's doing. We just want to test if it's gelling. So take a spoon, give it a stir, and we just want to take a little bit out, put it into a cold dish because we want to see how it's gelling. And we want to check if it's wrinkling. So as you can see there, our little sample, and it's just wrinkling when you move it around. And after a few minutes you can see here, look, it's starting to thicken up and gel. So that's how we want it. Just let your pot now cool down for about 15-20 minutes and then we're going to put it into our pots. So we've let it cool down for 10-15 minutes just so that we don't burn ourselves when we're putting this into our jam jars. Go ahead and have a little taste. Ooh, ah man, that's good. Really good. You can't buy this in the shops. So make sure you got some nice jam jars ready that are nice and clean. Take a ladle and we're just gonna pop that in there like that. Now if you've got an easier way how to do this without making such a mess, then let me know in the comments. And we want to fill it as high as possible. Make sure your jars have been sterilised. You can boil them in a big pan with hot water. That way your jam will last a lot longer. When we put our lids on, the steam will help to suck them shut, because that's why we're putting the jam in now while it's red hot. Well, it's not red hot, it's a lot hot. It's still steaming basically. So there we finished. You've got yourself a real nice tasty marmalade made with real fruit. If you want your marmalade to be thicker, then you just boil it for longer, but it'll get really thick. So you do it to taste however you like it. This, as you see there in the video, as it starts to cool down, it'll thicken up, and this will be just about right. So guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let us know in the comments how you get on, or what are your favourite jam or marmalade recipes. Share them with our community that we're building. Guys, I'll see you next time.